세러데이 쇼다운. OK저축은행 브리온 대 POX.
I'd love the Fiddlesticks, but it's not happening.
Oh,
it's a Yone, and
that
it's
is
a
full
rel.
AD.
That is, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I was like, oh, the Fiddlesticks angle, it's there. But no, it is in fact not. The Lulu that you were talking about is going to be locked away here. Try and get rid of the Yone, which can be used defensively. We'll see how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to hop onto the Rift for game number 1.
Though, so I think it was a win for the broadcast.
We had Mad Dan as well. It was a rough day yesterday.
Hey,
Cam, there we go.
Is that a thumbs up? I think it was. He was like, it's Flash Ignite. It's okay.
He was ready for the Huni thumbs up. I'm sure he was.
Things can be a lot riskier, and Zeka didn't actually get into any CS deficit. I think even if Setup gets the full wave, which should be able to get with his TP back, isn't really going to be any advantage. As we do see early on, Rel probably the best at taking the Kevins.
Yeah.
Is the second iteration, is that junior or the second?
Oh, as in like the next spawn?
Next spawn, or is it
no,
just
it's
the same?
just when they come back. It's
Okay.
Kev, Steve, and Bob.
Okay, I like it.
They just come around again.
And Viper was ahead in gold, which in of itself already is valuable, but so was, or rather Viper, the Lucian is, oh, hold up.
Yeah, taking a lot of damage. Good polymorph there from Pleta to make sure the Viper wasn't able to do anything at all. Still a bit of a wraparound opportunity here for Peanut. Not a popportunity, it's an opportunity. Still relearning.
Maybe next game.
It's been a bit of time. In the Baron Pit.
They're gone.
Yeah, that is going to be secured, so a lot of extra siege power for a composition that can split push pretty well. Their 4-1 capabilities with Yone, very, very strong. Shattering Strike, extremely feels good there, but this may not, as Sponge comes down towards the bottom side. Moonlight Vigil from Teddy is big. The Arcane Smash, fantastic. Twisted advance from Sponge to collect the second, and it's a double for Teddy. Much better performance here in their second series. Not too many charges on that one. Teleport to come in. Doran going to commit to this fight as well, but Rascal, he's already here. Shattering Strike does come down. Magnetstorm should be able to get rid of Sponge, but he flashes away. That is going to keep the Maokai alive, but he's not really in this fight, and that equalizer could have been better. Satab tries to get Viper out of there, but I don't think they're going to be contesting this Dragon anymore, and that is secured. Good knock up there from Zeka as well, but I think Rascal is okay. As we have an Infernal Soul, and Rascal's going in once again. The Flamespitter doing a lot of work as All Out from Doran wants to pull this Rumble in, but I don't know whether that was the right call. And Doran will go down. Humble Life Esports, they lose one. They get themselves a Drake. But DRX are getting all the kills this game.
Doesn't have his Buster Shot right now, so as a result, really needs to be somewhat careful. As
speaking of careful, Viper is diving forward. That is another Moonlight Vigil as Peanut collects the Nature's Grasp, but he might just die for it. Wild Growth does not come through just yet, but you can see Peanut able to at least limp his way out. The turret may not be able to do so, though. It is pretty stationary, and that explosive charge damage really starting to stack up here for Satab. Still, not going to kill the turret just yet. Humble Life Esports live to tell another tale as Teddy taking down to 50%, the culling not quite enough to really be a problem. He does get the barrier out from Teddy relatively late there
in front of them, but there's a lot of wave clear, particularly for DRX as well. I do like this rotation towards topside. Looks like they should be able to get first turret, but off of that, as Peanut is very tanky, not really in any threat as of right now, but I think they might have a suspicion that a lot of people of Humble are towards the top side of the map.
Yeah, quite a few friends down here towards the bottom side as there's the Flash Magnetstorm. Sponge going to get pulled in as Zeka's trying to at least do something here, but it does not work out. 500 gold over to Sponge, and DRX just hold on to their monopoly of the kills.
And I'm very impressed with DRX their read, because this is the second time that Hanwha invest multiple people towards a side of the map, and DRX has an actual counterplay ready.
So Teddy sitting pretty for now. Zeka going to unbind the soul and look for a little bit more. As I say it, the Caster Curse is real. Wild Growth and Flash both invested to get Teddy to safety. He's going to be able to make it out. DRX do have a foothold here in the river. Viper moving in. Humble Life Esports still not quite in position as Rascal does turn up. He has the equalizer at the ready. Both summoners as well, as Doran does hold on to the aggro on this Dragon, but it looks like Humble Life Esports want a team fight. Blastcone gets Peanut over. He does have his Magnetstorm back up and available. All buttons there for Humble Life Esports as there's the Nature's Grasp. Doran trying to get the work done. Sponge just takes it away. Great bubble, and it's a 3-man ulti. Magnustorm comes in as well as Teddy is still just huge. Humble Life Esports still yet to get a kill as well, even though the Wombo combo looked good. And Peanut has to crash down his way out. It's just all DRX.
It's a little bit disjointed on the side of Hanwha. Yes, they find great knockups, but they're individual, they're not layered, there's no actual follow-up damage to Sponge!
Oh dear, the Sponge delivery is massive. The Equalizer finds the air, or the ground, I guess, as Zeka. He's made it towards this turret, but it is not long for the world, and it will go down. Oh, that's a lot of damage with the double tap of Viper, trying to get some stragglers here. As a little alpaca will slow him down. Walking to the left is his strategy, working out quite well there as Humble Life Esports should be able to get their second dragon. But can they finally win themselves a fight as Doran gets slowed down, mitigates some of the CC, and now he's looking for a team fight. Nature's Grasp to come in as Zeka rebinds the soul. They get behind Doran quite nicely here as Sponge has to flash. Moonlight Vigil goes wide this time around, and DRX, they are just going to back away. They can give up a Drake, but they don't want to lose a fight here as Doran dives on forward. The all-out is good. The bubble is even better. And finally, some kills come in. Magnustorm as well from Peanut, but it's Teddy that's in trouble. Viper collects the kill there, and Humble Life Esports, they pick up their first 3, and they are not done yet.
And Rascal trying their best.
This is going to be a real difficult one. Rascal will be able to do a lot of damage and will put down the Equalizer there. Another culling comes in this time. A lot of those bullets are finding the mark, but Viper deciding to go back to the Baron. Zeka is extraordinarily low as these harpoons are pretty scary. Bubble is good, and there goes Rascal. It's a valiant effort, but it's not going to get them a Baron as Doran teleports back in with a massive health bar. And DRX are on the back foot now. And Rascal taking care of that mid lane, where Zeka is pushing wave after wave. And with this Baron, it's getting dangerous. Viper now finding some damage on the Sponge. Twisted Advance now on cooldown. Equalizer, Moonlight Vigil, both not really finding very much value. And there's the Magnustorm. Rascal goes golden, but it's delaying the inevitable. And Viper will take that kill for the double. Teddy for the triple. Could it be even more than that as Satab? He's going to go back to his fountain. 3 kills for the Lucian, though. And I think Humble Life Esports may just end game 1 here, as there's the cue to pull back the Tristana. And Zeka is diving in. First Nexus turret to go down. And Humble Life Esports, I think, are they going to back away? They're going to look for more. Looking a little bit indecisive, but they're going to collect another inhibitor at least. As look at these Void Mites, the mini Kevs taking down these structures. The Nexus going to be next on the chopping block, and after having 0 kills for what felt like the entirety of the game, it's Humble Life Esports that will take game 1. To get these flank angles and things like this, to get stuff done. Viper, most damage in the game to be expected here.
We'll see how he's feeling.
And
Zach. I would love something like Zach. Jarvan is also a good example because there are 2 stationary AD carries on the enemy bot lane. Varus, I love it. Yeah, Varus and Senna are quite strong in the 2v2, but they are very susceptible to getting jumped on by Zach. And Zach also, one of his key weaknesses is when you are playing into an aggressive jungler that can mess up your jungle.
In the LCK thus far, in Nongshim, ask anyone. They look fantastic. So we'll see whether they can fight back here. Let's jump onto the Rift. No.
No, exactly.
But I mean, that's not the argument. The argument is Nongshim has Jiwoo, and they have Dundun, and they have the best looking play thus far this season.
Sure. I don't know if I agree, but I like your argument.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Gwen in the early levels, feeling great. Sponge did waste a little bit of time, but it's not the end of the world as Satab goes in aggressively. Does outtrade Zeka pretty nicely, but that turret shot is gonna feel a little bit rough.
Obviously. All right, here is the Peanut gank once again. Flash out from Satab, but Stretch Armstrong is not gonna let you get away. Zeka is chasing after him. He does manage to get that rocket jump back off cooldown. But still, flash down for a successful gank here for Peanut. 4.5 minutes.
Small gank here. Get yourself a flash. I'll be feeling great. Zeka might get the cancel here. Would be huge.
Oh, he is. Satab gonna have to get out of there. He does follow him with that Conquering Sands, and there it is. Zeka gonna grab first blood. Solo kill. Satab just backing a little greedily.
To the Hanwha Life mid laner. Zeka already going to be sitting on a lead, and crucially, was no teleport available as well. I think Satab will be able to catch most of the wave, but He's going to take a lot of time as the gank.
Yeah, in comes Peanut. Connects one of the arms to Pleta. They are going to back away, I think, understanding that there is a tree in the vicinity. And so they'll take the heal, and they will move on out. As Viper's going to go back home. Oh, that piercing arrow, that was almost just a dead Viper. As now Teddy could also be in trouble, but the chains are going to land. And now Peanut, he's in a rough situation. Does, of course, have his passive, so he's not dead, but losing that passive before the first fight is a bad thing. Sounds like two options that aren't team fighting, which might be very useful. As Rascal gets out the needles. Doran trying to fight this one out, though, does have the World Ender running. And without the last remaining R's really doing too much there from the Gwen, it is just going to be R buttons pressed, and then some backing away. So Rascal now has Ghost on cooldown, Doran still with his flash. Certainly good news. Logistics program going to help Delight stay healthy here in the bottom lane.
Peanut's level 7 now, so is going to become more and more of a menace. Satab.
Yeah, Emperor's Divide comes in. He's caught out of the air once again! And those arms, they stretch real far, and the Sand Soldiers are enough to take it down. That is 2-0 now for Zeka.
And it looks like Humble Life have identified a point of weakness on DRX. Satab, 2 deaths now on a pick that is so notorious for being hard to gank, hard to take down, a lot of innate safety. But Satab bleeding gold and Zeka getting further and further ahead.
Zeka is very capable. They're carrying pretty hard on this champion. Flash out from Teddy. Stretch Armstrong going to go wide, but the Chains of Corruption do not. They hold down Peanut. He's trying to escape from this one. He actually decides to go in. Let's bounce, says Peanut, as now Teddy's in trouble. Dawning Shadow, though, might be enough. Viper immediately gets bailed out, and now Pleta over the wall. He will fall down, but he does manage to get one back. Sponge may not be so lucky. However, he is going to create that distance. Satab just trying to protect his tree, the environmentalist that is the Tristana, but the sacrifice is there, and he's pulled back with these stretchy arms of Peanut. Oh, it's even more deaths for this Tristana, and 5-1 now in favor of Humble Life. Could certainly be useful for trying to get some of that structural gold. As Rascal has to use the ult just to clear out this minion wave. That is still going to be plates. Handshake going to come forward here as Rascal snip and does go immune, but it is still a lot of extra money. But Kevin's do go over to Sponge, and now the Nature's Grasp to come out. World Ender comes through here as well as Pleta coming on over. Doran going to flash to get himself out of the way though, and Peanut, he wants even more here. Dawning Shadow not quite going to be enough to finish off the Aatrox as, yeah, Peanut's bouncing around, but there are not that many people coming up. There was Zeka, but he was a little bit too far away. And the bottom lane had other things on their mind, like killing this turret. They'll take 4 plates. And this is a different scenario. This is Hanwha on the front foot completely, but still, Nature's Grasp going to come down. Doran gets to the safety of his turret, or at least the relative safety. Teleport is going to be invested here as Zeka's making his way in, and Peanut is bouncing around. So Zeka just going to use that teleport to make sure that his top laner stays alive, and they're not going to find too much more.
So he is going to be so hard to kill. Seti has to flash.
Another flash, but this time the Stretch Armstrong comes out. That's a big old flash forward from Delight. As he had the Fate's Call, he's going to make sure that Teddy is going to fall down. And now Peanut can take himself a Herald Ride if he would like to, stretching himself up. Great Arcane Smash from Sponge to try and deny, but he's going to get pulled back, has to flash to get himself out of there. As Shelly gets a headache, but she deals with this turret as well. And now Peanut, he'll take the reins and send her towards this inner at the same time. It's just going from bad to worse here for DRX as they lose their inner turret in the mid lane. He is a blob. That is very true. He is now on top of Teddy once again. Teddy didn't have the flash available, and he's almost just getting soloed. He is, as Viper will just last hit the Varus. Sponge gonna have to blast cone his way out, and Peanut just once again, he's got the elastic slingshot up off of cooldown, and then these ranged characters just tend to get jumped on.
Yeah, you know, when you have a good Zag angle and you actually take it, to me, that deserves credit.
Oh, Nature's Grasp trying to come forward. Let's see whether they can do anything to Peanut here as Sponge in a lot of trouble. Pleta is just going to explode though on the bottom side of the fight as Doran does find him. Rascal as well on this Gwen, looking not like some of the Gwen performances that we've seen so far. And Humble Life Esports can now go to the Baron if they would like to. It's the bowling alley once again. Peanut going to fly on down, and this is not feeling too good for Sponge Enjoyers, although he does I mean, the scoreline looks kind of fine, but everything is kind of on fire. When you're a tree, you don't really like that. Just waiting for the opportune moment. Here we go again. Jonah Strong, thanks for the zoom. Great arcane smash, but a stretch Armstrong once again onto Satab as they do manage to land the ulti onto Sponge, and they'll just take that. The flash does have to be used to get the tree out of there. Life Esports set up for yet more siege. Doran back to the mid lane is where he can go to keep that pressure up as much as possible. And with the front door open, keeping these side lane inhibitor turrets alive is so difficult. There it is, stretching strike over just for the zoning here from Peanut. Does pull Sponge in, but Rascal, he's a dangerous one. Peanut does have the passive available as OK, Doran diving forward. He finds Pleta somehow as another one comes in. The Emperor's Divide is massive as well. And Life Esports, they want to go home early. It's a double for Zeka as he takes down his opposite number yet again. And another inhibitor will fall. Looks like Nexus turrets aren't on the menu just yet, but I think we're getting pretty close to that course as Teddy has to flash one more time. Peanut just doesn't care about massive. Yeah, what his health bar looks like, because what you said, you can just come back up again. The Bloblets can come on forward as, yep, down to 100 health. Who cares? Teddy's on his fountain, can't do anything about it, and there goes the Nexus. Game 2 for Life Esports, a 2-0 start to the season. Necessarily needs to be done as far as getting the synergy together, because so many of these players have been playing together for the last year, right? Doran, Peanut, and Delight all together have been just great, and then you plug in Zeka and Viper.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Steer for the POG Interview translation, joined by Doran and Peanut of Life Esports. Congratulations, guys. Doran, this is your first win in your HLE uniform, so how do you feel? As for the uniform, I really like the colors. I love it. This is my first game match after joining a new team, and I'm really glad that we're able to have a good start. And Peanut, how do you feel? It was our first match. I was pretty nervous, but after we warmed up through game 1, I think we were able to grab really good momentum. And Doran, in game 1, you got your POG. Although in the early part of the game, it looks like you were struggling a little bit, but one team fight to win it all. Let's take a look at this replay. This was a Drake team fight on the 4th Drake. So what was the team's decision to make this game-ending team fight? So we're just trying to go in. I personally wanted to go in with Ghost and engage to try to end the game. And Peanut, how did you feel about Doran's decision here? Yeah, it was a struggle in game 1, but he was able to play really well and we were able to secure the win in game 1. Peanut, you locked in Zach in game 2, so what strength were you expecting from this pick? The enemy was trying to go with a 2 marksman comp, so I just had to deny their way of scaling, so I think that was a decision from our coaching staff. And you guys really grasped the mid-prio and jungle pathing and it was on point from the start in game 2. So let's take a look at this replay now. What were you guys talking about as a team here? Zeka wanted to see if I can get Mink mid, and yeah, we were able to. He was able to grab his solo kill. I personally think he's a really good mid. I feel like we definitely have a long way to go in terms of building synergy, but I believe that there's only room for improvement. Doran, how do you feel about the 2 mid-jungle synergy? I feel like they're building really good synergy right now. How about Peanut and Doran's synergy? Doran? Me and Peanut?
네, 지금
I mean, we've been together for 3 years.
예, 너무 좋죠. 예.
You like me, right? Yeah, of course. I love you.
멋진 모습 보여주고 계십니다. 두 분 다 또 경력이 화려한 선수들이 또 뭉친 하나생명이기 때문에 체급을 제대로 느낄
And
수 있는 경기였던
Hana
것
Life
같은데요.
Esports
현재 좀 팀
has
워크는
such great
모습이
raw
어느
strength.
정도
So,
올라왔는지
how do you
궁금합니다,
think
그런 선수.
of the teamwork so far in the team?
팀워크보다는 지금 좀 아무래도
I feel like rather than the teamwork, we're definitely just trying to stay on the same page with each other.
방향성이 되게 좋다고는 느끼고 있습니다.
오, 피너
I feel like we have really good
팀워크에
direction of
맞춰가는
how we
과정에서
are
어떤
trying to
좀
synergize
어려움을
with each
느끼고
other.
계신가요?
어려움이요.
And Peanut, what do you think are some of the challenges to build teamwork here? I feel like we'll be able to find out more about that as we get into more matches. I feel like the biggest challenge would be not being able to fix our mistakes. But I feel like so far I have been seeing a lot of improvements, so I'm not too worried about it at all. And 2024 slogan for HLE is why not? To express your resolution to achieve the best you can in your own methods. So, what is your goal and resolution as a well-anticipated super team? Doran? I feel like we're at a stage where we're trying to stay on the same page as each other. And I'm sure that there were moments where we were not able to show our best, but I hope you look forward to us becoming and developing into a great team. And Peanut? Yeah, a lot of people are excited for our team. This is only the start. So I hope our fans can be a little generous with a lot of support. We'll put in our extra effort to become the best team that we can be. And this will be the end of the interview with Doran and Peanut from Hana Life Esports. And back to the space.